Welcome to Podcast Name. I'm your host, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of GitHub, the backbone of countless software projects and a home for collaborative coding. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just curious about how software gets built today, there's something for everyone in our discussion. Now, have you ever wondered how developers can work together on projects seamlessly, regardless of where they are in the world? Well, that's one of the magic tricks GitHub pulls off. It's not just a repository for code, it's a platform for collaboration, security, and efficiency. Let's start with something that might resonate with you. Picture this. You're working on a group project for school or work. Everyone has their own ideas, and it can get chaotic, right? GitHub is like the ultimate group project organizer. It keeps everything neat, tracks changes, and even helps manage contributions from different team members. How cool is that? And speaking of organization, let's talk about GitHub Actions. You can think of this as your personal assistant for automating workflows. Imagine you're building a new feature for an app, but you have to test it, deploy it, and maybe even notify your team about the changes. Instead of you doing all that manually, GitHub Actions can help automate those tasks. It's like having a super-powered intern who never sleeps. Then there's code review, which is essential for maintaining the quality of projects. Ever had a friend read over your essay to catch mistakes? That's what code review does for code. It's an opportunity for developers to give each other feedback, which not only improves the final product, but also fosters learning. It's a collaborative cycle that keeps on giving. Now, let's not forget about security, which is a hot topic in tech these days. Did you know GitHub has built-in features to find and fix vulnerabilities in your code? Think of it as a security guard that's always on duty, scanning for threats while you focus on creative coding. This is a huge deal, especially when we see so many data breaches making headlines. And for you open-source enthusiasts out there, GitHub has a program called GitHub Sponsors, where you can actually fund developers working on open-source projects. It's a unique way to give back to the community and support innovations that many of us rely on. We also see GitHub fostering a community through platforms like the README project, which showcases amazing stories from developers and teams around the world. It's inspiring to hear how some of the most impactful projects came to life. What about you? Have you come across any projects that made you go, "Wow, I want to do that"? As we're wrapping things up, I hope you're walking away with a better understanding of how GitHub empowers developers with tools like code search, discussions, automated workflows, and more. It's not just about writing code, it's about building, securing, and scaling projects collaboratively. So here's a thought-provoking question for you as we conclude. How do you think platforms like GitHub will shape the future of coding and development? Keep that in mind, and maybe find a project to contribute to this week. Thanks for tuning in to Podcast Name. If you enjoyed today's episode, consider sharing it with a friend or colleagues interested in tech. Until next time, keep coding and collaborating.